G'day everyone, my name's Sean and welcome to RFD Hobby. This week's Wargaming terrain tutorial, I wanted to try out some new ideas for some sci-fi terrain I'm wanting to build, so I'll take you through how I made this fairly simple modular sci-fi tower for the tabletop. This one was a bit of a prototype, so it is fairly basic, but it should be a really good start to some of the sci-fi buildings I want to do down the track. Thank you everyone for watching, please remember to subscribe, it helps out the channel and I really appreciate it. Thanks also to my Patreon supporters, you guys are wonderful. Well, let's get stuck into it. Now, one of the main things about getting this build right today will be getting these angles correct. So we're using foam board for most of the build here, especially for the base construction. And as I mentioned, the most important thing really is to get these angles correct. Now, I didn't use any maths or science to do mine. I just simply lined it up on my cutting mat, as you can see here. This particular side, which is the base, is 7.5 centimeters tall or thereabouts. And I've actually just measured in 2 centimeters on the top and cut that at an angle. Now for the second tier, what I've done is this one is actually a little bit thicker, so it doesn't really matter what height you make these, it's whatever you want. I made this one, this particular one is 8.5 centimeters, and I've just cut in 1 centimeter. And the top tier is just a continuation of that same angle all the way up. Basically, all you need to do is cut 4 identical of each of those tiers. And the way I do that is using this 45-degree cutter. Now I get asked a lot of questions about this when I bring it up in the video, so I'm just going to point this one out here. It's just a simple off-cut of wood cut at 45 degrees with a little hole drilled in it. Just get an old screw, something that will fit through that little slot on your craft blades. And once you tighten that screw down, you'll notice that there's a fair bit of resistance on the blade, so you'll be able to put it down on your foam and just sort of slice it through that blade set at the right depth, or you might want to do a couple of passes at shallower depths, and you'll get those nice clean cuts each time. So all we're going to do is cut out those angles that I mentioned before, and setting up those sides at the whatever widths you want and whatever height you want. So long as you cut your 4 sides identical, everything should come together nicely, like you can see here. Now you do want to build these starting with the base tier first, and then you can measure out exactly what you've got. You might find as you're cutting those first 4 that you get a few inconsistencies, and you might need to, trim things up. So it's probably best to cut each tier one at a time, just to make sure that, well, particularly the first and second tier. The third tier, honestly, you could just chop it off the top, just have a longer piece, that same angle on there, it's not really going to matter. All I did to cut my top tier was just line the ruler up, as you can see here, make some marks on that top piece, and then use the 45-degree cutter there to cut it out. At this point I sort of looked at that top tier and realized that I could probably just do a little tower and have some miniatures sort of sitting on top of that. So all I did was measured out the first one, then lined up the ruler to cut the rest of those out, so that the top tier was now going to be a small little emplacement. What I will do though is save those 4 pieces that I've cut off. We'll use those later on down the track. Probably another optional piece, I'm going to actually make a roof which will come off, which we can put on this tower as well. Now there were some problems filming the building of that top piece for the tower, so unfortunately I won't have a lot of footage to show you for that, but I will show it to you, so hopefully you can work out how to build that one yourself if you want to. This is the EVA foam that I'm going to use. This is just really thin stuff. I bought about 50 sheets of this for a few dollars at the craft store. Comes in lots of different colours. Luckily for this video I'll be able to use this black stuff that I have left over. And what we'll do is we'll just start cutting out some pieces here. This is going to be for the little ladder that will run up one side of this tower, just so that the units can get to the top. So nothing really difficult here. I just want to make sure I cut enough pieces so that they're all pretty identical. You want to do your best. Once they're all in place though, it won't, small inconsistencies won't stand out too much. And just remembering this is, a fairly basic sort of build here. So I'm just using that ruler there to line up one side of these, make sure that they're in the center, and make sure that there is some sort of consistency in where they're placed on these. It's a little bit hard when you're doing it this way to get, especially with the way that these are all cut, to get them all the same, but wherever you can line them up in such a way with the ruler and such, it's a good idea to do so that you get some, like I said, consistency and accuracy. Now I'm just using some of those side pieces with those angles that I've already measured out. I'm actually just using those to cut angles in this EVA foam because the EVA foam's not the same length or width as the foam board was, so it's a bit harder to get those measurements right that I used before. So I'm just going to actually use a piece of foam to mark out those angles so that I can cut those pieces of EVA foam to fit those sides. Just remembering here that we're just sort of laying it down, nothing's glued at the moment, we can move everything around. We're also going to just start getting some of this sprue as well. So we've just cut out some EVA patches there. There's no, you can do whatever you want here. I've just tried to get some angles on some of the smaller pieces just to get everything to sort of fit and look like it probably should, I guess, in a sci-fi environment. The next thing we're going to do here is just start gluing this stuff down. Once you've sort of got a pattern that you're kind of happy with, you can just start spreading some PVA glue onto the back of this foam here and start laying it down. What you will notice when you lay this down in the first place is that it's quite slippery and these pieces will move around really easily. So you want to try and very gently sort of place a few pieces on there, then maybe move on to another piece and start gluing some down there. Just let them get some tack so that they're a little bit dry and they're in the right place. And what we'll do then is, once we're pretty confident that they're not going to slide around, we'll just drop some books on top of these and just let them dry nice and flat and straight. Now with the sprues we've cut off here, you'll notice that they're all very messy at this stage. I'm just now about to clean them up a bit. You want to be very careful here because we are using a very sharp blade, so if you're going to do it this way, just make sure that you know what you're doing and you take it very, very slowly, little pieces at a time. Don't try to take off big chunks. And we're just going to try and clean up some of the edges and the base. You might want to get a little bit of sandpaper here and just smooth out some of those cuts that you've done, some of those edges. We're just going to try our best to make this look like it's not sprue. I mean, for most of us, we're going to look at this building and know that that's sprue, but we'll do the best we can to try and tidy it up and neaten it up and give it the best chance we can. Now, as you can see, I've sanded the back of those sprues so that they're not shiny anymore. This will just hopefully give us a little bit more grip with the glue, a little bit extra tack that'll grip on and hopefully keep these on there for a long time to come. So when you're putting these down, again, they'll be very slippery with that PVA glue, but the good thing is it'll dry clear and out of the way. So we can start placing all these pieces down. Unfortunately, we won't be able to weigh these down necessarily because there are different heights and everything and we don't want things moving around. But if you leave those for a few hours, as you can see, they'll dry up and they'll be very nice and fairly strong on there. So we can start looking at gluing our tiers together now. So I'm going to start with the top one. I just lay a little bit of glue on one of the corners here, one of the edges. I smear that across just to make sure that I've got glue on the entire surface for both sides. Just sort of line it up about the 90 degree, and we just place a few pins in there, and then we just line it up on our board, on our cutting mat, to make sure that the angles that we've pinned in are at actually 90 degrees. You might need to make a few little adjustments here and there as you go, but if you keep using those lines on your cutting mat there to make sure that it is at 90 degrees on each of the corners, that should come together quite nicely. Same goes for putting the other tiers together. We just want to make sure we've got a good spread of glue. You don't want too much glue, but we want to make sure that it's covering 100% of both the surfaces you're going to put together. And once these start to dry up, we'll start looking at bases, particularly for this top one, because we're going to have this one's going to be exposed. So we're just going to measure out the inside square that we need to fill for this. Make some cuts. You might need to make a few little adjustments. I mean, not everything here is going to be 100% perfect to the thousandth of an inch or anything. So, you might have to make a few little, cuts here and there just to get everything to fit in properly. But we're just going to sit that in there for now, and we're going to go back to our other tiers. Now, you can see here we've got 290 degrees glued together for each side. We're just going to place in little scraps of foam here, just into each of those corners with a fair amount of PVA glue. None of this will be exposed, so you can just sort of smear it in there. We just want to sort of add a little bit of stability to those corners and a little bit of support to the overall building. Now we can start putting in the base for the top. We're just going to smear some PVA glue around all the edges. Trying to remember which orientation you had, especially if you've made some custom cuts to get this to fit, and just place it in there, and we'll leave that to dry, and we've got a fairly nice fit there, so it should be good. Now when it comes to gluing the bases together, it's exactly the same process. The only difference is that we're gluing two pieces together here instead of like we did with the very top tier. So once you've got those pinned, it's exactly the same process. Just keep using your cutting mat to make sure everything's at 90 degrees. I will then measure up the top piece for the very base here. Now this one we want to try and make sure that it's going to fit on the foam to glue on, but we don't want this protruding on any of the sides. We want this sort of recessed back a little bit from the edge of the building. We want this to be a little recess all the way around the building, so we want to try and make sure we make this a very nice cut and glue for that top piece that we've put on there. Now as you can see here, again I'm going to add in some extra supports. Now these little scraps here are just bits that I cut off other things that I was building here, so these angles are the right angles for what I need. Particularly to just put in a couple of little supports to hold that top piece there and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. It is just a very thin line of PVA glue around that cap piece. What we're going to do is just cut these little pieces off here. Like I said, they have that correct angle, which is the exact angle that we need for the inside. So these little pieces here will just sit in there and I'll just hot glue them in place. I do apologise I didn't get the footage for actually hot gluing, but I think you know how that goes. So those glued in pretty simply. That won't be exposed. I won't put a base on this piece either. It doesn't need it. The next tier up, we've done exactly the same thing. I will be putting a base on that one though, because I do need it to magnet down. Now this is entirely optional. You don't need to do this whole bit with the modular even. You could just glue these tiers together and be done with this build. I am going to glue these magnets in and try and make this a bit more modular and a bit more fun. So I've got these magnets here which I picked up pretty cheap. They're pretty good, they're pretty strong. What I found though is I wanted to use washers on one side and magnets on the other, but unfortunately the magnets couldn't grip through 2 layers of foam, but a magnet to magnet could grip. So what I've done here is I've just taken the base piece that I'm going to glue onto this second tier here, and I've just placed it on top of the base with that first lot of magnets glued in. So now I know exactly where this needs to sit, and those magnets are fairly well lined up with the magnets underneath. I just need to mark it in there with a pencil on that piece there, and we're just going to hot glue these. So these ones aren't going to be exposed, so I'm happy to use hot glue. These are messy glued in. You'll see for the very top tier here, what I'm actually going to do is glue these in with some PVA glue instead. This is just because these ones are going to be exposed, so I don't kind of want big globs of hot glue sort of sticking out the sides here. I want these to be a little bit neater. One thing I did realise I probably needed to do with the PVA glue was to sand these. They're very, very shiny and very glossy, so I sanded one side just so the glue again had something to grip onto, much like I did with those sprues earlier. At this point I've just placed those magnets for the inside of the second tier just underneath the top tier there, just so that I know the orientation that they need to be glued in. And now at this point what I'm going to do is try and line up the top tiers together, make sure that they're as straight as possible on here, and I'm going to just flip it over and I'm just going to pierce some pins right into the corner of where these magnets sit on the top. Now these holes that they leave won't be visible. What it'll do is it'll pin our 2 layers together so that they don't move around. I'll also know through the bottom here, as you can see, where those pins poke through is where the corner of the magnet needs to go. So that way I get everything to line up, make sure all the magnets are the right way up. Now, unfortunately the building of this cap piece, the footage for this has been lost, so what I did use was those extra pieces that we cut off earlier from those top tiers. And I've just built that up in much the same way I did with the miniature bunker, so it's just pretty much essentially the same thing as we did before, except we've just cut slight angles on the sides there, as you can see, and also I've put a couple of little foam pegs, just foam board pegs into the corners to help this sit in there and make sure it's orientated the right way. This works really well, so we can move on to the painting. Now to prime this one today, I'm going to be using German Panzer Grey from Vallejo. I'm going to use some of this Army Painter Flow Improver and just my cheap airbrush here. So you don't need anything too fancy for this. This is just a straight coat of that Panzer Grey, and we're just going to make sure that we get a fairly even coat over everything. The next colour I'm going to use is Somber Grey from Vallejo again. This one we're going to coat mostly over everything. We want to try and, we're not too worried about leaving a little bit of, shadow underneath some of these panels. I've just hit it at this sort of 45-degree angle here and given it a basic coat here. The next thing I did was just to darken up some of those creases and the shadows. I've just gone in with a black and I've just sort of put that into all those creases and crevices. It's starting to look pretty bad, but not to worry. We'll come in with this cold grey and we'll touch it up a little bit. For this point here, I'm just trying to lighten up mostly the panels, any flat surfaces. The cold grey here, it looks very bright and very white, but as it dries it will tone itself down a little bit and it looks just about right for this type of building. So we want to keep most of those shadows fairly out there because we're just going to give this a quick dusting at the end here just to sort of unify everything and bring it all into one place. And there's a lot more that could be done and that I will probably do with this building as far as battle damage and weathering goes. I did want to try and make this a fairly simple build today using very basic materials. Hopefully you've been able to follow along and you give this one a try. I will be producing a few more of these sci-fi buildings. There's a few more designs I want to try out. There's a bit more detail and a bit more advanced stuff that I want to try out for these buildings, so hopefully you hit that subscribe button, and if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, comment if you've got any suggestions or questions. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch it and stick it with it this far. Take care, all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.